Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Kelsey. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today is day 16 of Vlogmas and we are continuing with the declutter, and today I'm decluttering lots of face products. So I have in this little bag here all of my face color products, so like blushes, bronzers, highlights. I thought this was not going to be very many things, but I have way more of these things than I thought, so let's jump in. Also, if you haven't seen any of my other declutter videos for this go round, I will link my playlist above. And I also have a giveaway going on ending on Christmas Day. I will link that below, make sure to check it out. But let's jump into this declutter. This is so much more than I thought I had. Oops. So, if you haven't seen any of my other declutter videos as of late, we're gonna go with 3 different piles. One pile of stuff I'm for sure keeping, another pile of stuff I'm kind of like on the edge about, kind of think about, and then the third pile is stuff that I'm for sure getting rid of. I might try and do this in some sort of order. I'm gonna start with face palettes. All right, the first one, this is something I've had for a few months now. This is from Physicians Formula. It's the Butter Collection palette, and I have it in the shade Light Medium. But you've got a bronzer, which is like their butter bronzer in bronzer. You have a blush in Natural Glow, and then 2 limited edition highlights. I love this. I use this at least a few times a week, so I'm for sure keeping this. This is an old favorite. This is the Wet n Wild Mega Glow Contouring Palette. This is in the shade Dulce de Leche, and I have had so many of these palettes. I mean, it's just like a 2-pan palette kind of thing, but I have used this for years. You have like a highlight shade, or I kind of use this like under my eyes, and then you have like a contour shade. I really enjoy this contour color because it's not super warm, but it's definitely on the warmer side, and so I feel like it just does really well with my skin tone. I repurchased this recently because I haven't had it in a really long time, and so I haven't honestly used it that much since I bought it, but it hasn't been too long, but I'm definitely keeping this. Trolley, you just want to hang out? Okay. Ow, Trolley. Oh my goodness, Trolley. Get out of here. This is, ouch, trolls. My cat's a jerk. This is from Real Her. It's the Be Fearless, Be Limitless Blush Kit. And this was from a BoxyCharm quite a few months ago, like maybe last December. But you have 3 different blush shades in here. Looking at this, they kind of look a little intense, but they're actually really nice. I really enjoy this color. It's in the shade Unstoppable. It's a really nice like neutral, like nude color, which is my favorite go-to for a blush. But this is really nice. I actually haven't used this in a really long time, so I'm keeping this though. This is one of my favorites. This is from e.l.f. It's pretty much all worn off, but it's the Total Face Palette. Again, the back packaging is pretty much all worn off. It's so nice. You've got a bronzer color, 2 blushes, and a highlight. This highlight is beautiful. The bronzer is awesome. The blushes are great. This is a very sheer palette. Like, it's definitely not anything too intense, but it's really, really nice. I would definitely recommend this if you have like light to medium skin. Deeper skin tones, I don't think this would work for you, but this is beautiful. I'm definitely keeping this. This is an old favorite. This is from The Balm. This is the Manizer Sisters, the Luminizers. And this is a little trio palette of some of the Manizer sister products. You have Mary Luminizer, which is like their best seller. It's like the really nice highlight. It's beautiful. You have Cindy Luminizer, which is more of like a pinky toned, and then Betty Luminizer, which is like a bronzy toned highlight. They are all beautiful. I don't use this one too often. This one is a really pretty blush topper. This one would be great as like a face like bronzer if you're looking for something super shimmery, but this Mary Luminizer highlighter is beautiful, so I'm definitely keeping this. This is from Naked Cosmetics, and it is the Holographic Highlighter Collection. This was also from BoxyCharm from like February maybe, and it's this like highlighter palette that's kind of like, it's supposed to be like holographic stuff. I honestly don't use this. I think it's really pretty. The quality is great. It's definitely a different look than I normally go for, but it is super great quality and it looks great on the skin, but I just don't use it. I think I'm gonna put it in the like second pile to think about at the end of this video, but yeah, I don't know. This is a little bit newer to me. This is the Catrice Prime and Fine Professional Contouring Palette. This is really nice as well. You have like a much more cool tone contour color, and then this is actually a shimmering highlight instead of like the matte one that's with the Wet n Wild palette, but this is really nice. Again, it's kind of newer to me. I haven't used it a ton, but I do like this. I'm keeping it. This is brand spanking new. Just got this in BoxyCharm a few days ago. This is from Wander Beauty. It's the Wondrous Dusk to Dawn palette. I have been pleasantly surprised by this. You have 2 blush shades and then like a highlight. All of them are beautiful. I'm wearing this today, worn it the last few days. Really, really enjoy it. This is from Pure and it's the Sculptor palette. This is another one that I've been like really pleasantly surprised with. This was also from a BoxyCharm, and you have 2 like bronzer contour shades and then 2 highlights. These contour shades are a little bit too deep for my skin. This top one, which is in the shade Inventor, I can use with a very light hand, but the highlights are gorgeous. I actually really enjoy this darker color for my brows as well. If I'm wanting like a really simple, easy look, I'll just kind of pop this in my brows. But I use this so often now, and I'm kind of surprised because when I first got it, I did not think I would ever use this, but I use it at least 3 or 4 times a week. It's one of my go-tos. This one, on the other hand, is also from Pure, and it's the Bronze and Brighten palette. This is quite intense. So you have like the 3 different shades. It's supposed to be kind of like a bronzer, highlight, and like a blush. This, I go back and forth on. I think this highlight is beautiful, but I feel like it doesn't last on the skin very well. And then I literally like never use the other colors. So I think I'm gonna get rid of this. But yeah, I'm gonna get rid of it. This is another e.l.f. palette. This is the blush palette and it's in the shade Light. But you have 4 blushes in here. This is actually something I decluttered in my last declutter that I did like last October. But then as I was kind of like going through the products, when I was like getting rid of them, I saw this and I was like, you know what? I think I'm gonna keep this. And I'm glad I did because I literally have used this a lot since then. I like to travel with this because you do get like 4 shades. This one is one of my go-tos. This one is really pretty as well, as is this one up top. And this one's a little like too pink, light pink for me, but they're great quality. And I think these are like $6 now, so really affordable as well. This should have been in like my face, like base declutter, but I forgot about it and just found it the other day. But this is from Bella Pierre Cosmetics. It's the Pro Concealer palette. I think I've used this like maybe twice. You have like 3 different color correcting concealers. I'm just not one that's gonna color correct. I don't have the patience nor like skill for that, so I'm gonna get rid of this. This is the Park Avenue Princess palette from Tarte, and it's like a bronzer, well, it's like a contour palette, I guess. So you have like a deep bronzer, kind of like a deeper contour color, a light contour color, and also a lighter bronzer. And then you also have 2 light highlight shades, matte. But this is really nice. I got this in my Boxy Luxe box in September and love it. I use it very often. That was it for face palettes. I'm gonna move on to some single bronzers. This one is from NYX, and this is technically a blush, I believe, but this is the high definition blush in the shade Taupe, which this was super popular here on YouTube a few years ago. It is a like cool matte bronzer, blush, whatever you want to call it, that people really enjoyed for contouring. You can tell I hit pan on this, so I did enjoy it at one point as well. I honestly haven't used this recently. I'm gonna think about this because I feel like I have this shade in like the Park Avenue Princess palette. I just don't think I use something this cool toned. It might be actually pretty similar to the Catrice powder, kind of similar. I think I'm gonna get rid of this. I've had this for probably 3 or 4 years, and I just really haven't used this recently at all. This is from Essence, and it's the Sun Club Matte Bronzing Powder. This is a really nice matte bronzer. It's pretty warm, but it's also very light. So I have very fair skin. It's just not too much, and so it is really nice. It is the lighter skin shade. I wanna say they have like a darker skin one too, but it's pretty nice. I'm gonna keep this. Then I have two of the same bronzer. These are from Wet n Wild. This is the Ticket to Brazil bronzer, and this is another one that's just really on the lighter side of things, but it does have like some shimmer in it. Nothing too crazy. This is honestly my everyday go-to bronzer. It's beautiful. It looks great on fair skin. Gives you a little bit of a glow, but also a little bit of color. So I love this. I think I am going to get rid of one of them though. I bought these at two separate times, both in California when I was traveling because I forgot bronzer. The first time I bought it, ended up really liking it, and then the second time I forgot bronzer, I decided to go with the same one because I liked it so much. So I'm gonna get rid of the one that is more used just because then I'll keep the one that's newer, you know? So I'm gonna get rid of this one, keep this one. Ow, Trolley, what is wrong with you? Trolley, you're crazy. This is from Bare Minerals, and this is the Warmth All Over Face Color. This has been a favorite of mine for like many, many years. This one, is this almost gone? No. I've got lots of product in here, but I honestly, I've had this one for a little while, and I haven't really used it often because it is like that loose powder. I'm gonna keep this just because this has been a favorite of mine for years. I love this stuff. It looks great on the skin. It looks very scary in the packaging because it's kind of like a reddish brown color, but it comes across on the skin so nice. Now let's move on to some blushes. I've got a lot of blushes, actually. I didn't think I had this many, but I guess I did. This is from NARS, and it's the Orgasm Blush, which is like probably their most popular item ever. This definitely had its heyday on YouTube a while ago. I do think it's a nice blush. It's way more subtle than you would think. I've had this for a little while. I don't have anything else like this color, I don't think, so I'm gonna keep this. Even though it's not cruelty-free, I got this for free, which I know it doesn't make it okay, but I'm just gonna hold on to this for a little while. This one is one I got in Ipsy. It's from Manna Kadar, and it's just a blush in Paradise Blush. This is very bright, so this looks kind of similar to the NARS blush, but this is so pigmented. I have a hard time using this. I did really like this at a period of time when I was going for a more heavy blush look, I guess. And I would use this often, but now I feel like I prefer a more like natural looking blush, and I just haven't found myself using this probably in the last almost year. So I think I'm gonna get rid of this one. It's a little too like orangey red for my taste right now. This is an absolute favorite. This is from Tarte, and it's one of the Amazonian clay blushes, and it's in the shade Party. And this was the Sephora gift last year for your birthday. I have hit major pan on this. I love this blush so much. I'm gonna be sad once I use this. I'll probably rebuy a Tarte blush, maybe not this exact shade, but I have really enjoyed this formula. I think it's beautiful. I think this is my last travel blush. This is from The Balm, and it's Balm Springs in the shade Full Swing or something, or maybe just Balm Springs. Balm Springs in Full Swing. This is a nice mauve-y color. I feel like in the pan it's coming across a little more pink than it is in person. This is really nice. It's been a long time since I've used this though. I think I'm gonna set this aside for right now. I think I've had this for probably close to 2 years. But I did really like the formula. I'm gonna put it up top, think about it for a little bit. Moving on to some full-size blushes. This is from Essence, and it's the Satin Touch blush, and this is in the shade Satin Coral. This is a really nice blush. I've actually been wanting to pick up the other shade of this for a while, and I just keep forgetting, but they have a more like mauve-y color. This is definitely more of like a coral color, but it is really nice. It's kind of leans on the more like nude kind of spectrum of blushes. but it looks really great on the skin. It's got a little bit of a shimmer to it, but nothing too like crazy and out there, but it lasts on the skin really nice as well, so I'm keeping that. This is from Pretty Vulgar, and this is very bright and kind of scary, but this is the Make Them Blush in the shade Prim Vixen, and this was another one from BoxyCharm earlier this year at some point, like February something, January, somewhere around there. But this is hot pink, but it's not as scary as it looks. I really enjoy this. It's a really pretty color, but you definitely have to be going with like a cool tone look, or I feel like I can't do like a warm eye wearing this blush. It just kind of clashes, but it is really pretty. So I'm keeping this for now. And I have this blush from CoverGirl. This is one of their Cheekers blush. It's in the shade Iced Cappuccino. I got this not too long ago. I got it when CoverGirl went cruelty-free because I hadn't bought anything CoverGirl in a really long time, and I thought this was a really pretty color. I've used it a little bit, but I kind of forgot about it because it was tucked away in my drawer, so I want to use it more, so I'm keeping it. This was a favorite for a really long time. This is from Studio Makeup, and it's the Luminous Loose Blush. This is beautiful. This was in my first BoxyCharm, so September of 2017. It's like this really great pink color. It looks so good on the skin. Definitely keeping this. Looks stunning on the skin. This is another favorite. I'm not getting rid of very much. I'm sucking at this. This is from Laura Geller. This is the Baked Blush and Brighten in the shade Tropic Hues. This is another BoxyCharm item. It's this beautiful pink color. Love it. I wear this often. I wear it by itself or as a blush topper. It just looks great on the skin. Another one from BoxyCharm. This is from Note, and it's the Luminous Silk Compact Blusher in the shade Desert Rose. It's a really pretty color. Again, it's kind of in that like peachy, kind of nude color, but this blush is quite pigmented. It is very pretty, but I have to go in with like a really light hand, but I'm keeping it. It's a great go-to blush. The last blush I have is from Bare Minerals, and it's one of their Ready blushes, and it's in the shade The Indecent Proposal. Now this is definitely more of like a mauve-y colored blush. I feel like it's kind of similar to the Balm Springs blush, so I like this formula a little bit better than the Balm one, so I'm going to keep this one. I think I'm going to end up getting rid of the Balm one that I have up there, but this is another blush that I really like, but I kind of just had tucked away because I have too many blushes. I have two liquid highlights. One is from e.l.f. and one is from Tarte. The e.l.f. one is a little bit more like iridescent looking. It's not like really cool toned, it's not really warm toned, it just kind of like goes right down the middle and as far as color. The Tarte one is in the shade Exposed, and it's a little bit more warm toned. So this is the e.l.f. one, and this is the Tarte one. Let's blend those out and see what they look like, because I don't remember. So the e.l.f. one is there on top. It's a little bit more subtle, a little bit more pinky, and then the Tarte one is a little bit more golden and kind of a little bit more intense in the shimmer department. But both are nice. Should I keep both of them? Probably not. Am I going to keep both of them? Yes. Oh, let's see. This is from Becca, and it's one of their shimmering skin perfectors, and it's in the shade Prosecco Pop. Now, this is beautiful. Like, this is a beautiful highlight. I think it might be too deep for my skin tone. I've been trying to hang on to this for like a really long time because it's, again, it's beautiful. But I think it's just like too dark for my skin. Even if I have some kind of like tan, which doesn't ever really happen, I just don't really reach for it because you can see it on my skin a lot. So I think I'm gonna get rid of this. Am I crazy? If it doesn't work and I'm not reaching for it, I might as well not keep it, you know? Another one I think I'm gonna get rid of. This is from Luna. It's the Luna by Luna highlighter, and it's in the shade Calypso. This is such a cool highlight. This was in an Ipsy a while ago, and this is such a cool color. It's like this grayish purpley color. I think it looks beautiful on the skin, but again, I'm just a little too fair for it, I think. I don't know. Guys, I think I might keep it actually. If I use a light hand, it doesn't look too crazy. I'm gonna keep it for right now. Keeping it. This is one of my everyday go-to highlights. This is from Essence, and it's the Pure Nude highlighter. Now they have other shades of this. This is just like the original one. It's called Be My Highlight. But this is another one. It's just like my go-to highlight. If I'm like not feeling inspired by highlight or I don't want to try anything new, this is the one I go to. I like to use this with a fan brush, and it just looks great. Adds a nice highlight, nothing too intense, but beautiful. This is one I'm not sure of. This is from Bare Minerals. This is actually an eyeshadow, but I like it as a highlight. It's in the shade BFF, and it's a loose shadow, but there's just something about it that looks really cool as a highlight color. It's kind of like a pink color, a little, I don't know. I'm gonna keep it. Dang it. Last one, I'm keeping this too because this is one of my favorites. This is from Urban Decay, and it's one of their Afterglow or something highlights. It's in the shade Sin, but this is just a great highlight. I had this in a project pan last year because I thought I would be able to finish it, but I literally have not even come close, and I use this probably 3 times a week, but there's so much product in here for like a little highlight. It's such a good color. All right, this declutter is not going well. I am keeping way too many things. I think I'm gonna look through my keep pile really quick and see if there's anything that I was kind of like hesitant about that I can get rid of, because I literally have not gotten rid of really anything. So this was my keep pile, which again is just, it's too much. I was kind of going back and forth on this Bare Minerals eyeshadow. Do I want to keep this? Do I want to get rid of it? I think I'm gonna get rid of this. And then these were also something that I kept going back and forth on. After having them like blended onto my hand, this e.l.f. one kind of just faded away. So I'm gonna get rid of this one, keep the Tarte one. Let's see, is there anything else? You know what? I think I'm gonna get rid of the NARS one. Not because it's not cruelty free, but I'm actually not the biggest fan of this blush. I know it is like super popular, but I don't think it's that great. Everything else I want. But this was the pile of things to think about, and I'm gonna get rid of both of these actually. I think I'm keeping one like fun highlight, which is more of a color I would use, where this, you've got all the different colors, and even if I was looking for like a fun highlight, there's probably only like 2 colors in here I would use. One being something that's really similar to that other one. So I think I'm gonna get rid of this, and honestly, I'd never really reach for a fun colored highlight. I'm gonna get rid of the Balm blush because I think I have other colors that are similar to this, and this is just kind of like annoying to use at this point because it's kind of a really small little palette. And so it's hard to get a brush in there, so I'm gonna get rid of it. So then that leaves me with my getting rid of pile. I've got a few like bronzers, that terrible concealer palette, that face palette, the highlight palette, a blush, another blush, a few highlighters, another blush. So I'm getting rid of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 things. I'm keeping a lot more than 11. But that was my declutter for the day. I'm feeling okay about it. As I'm doing these declutters, I'm setting all of the products aside that I'm decluttering, because once I am done with this whole series, I'm gonna kind of go through it and make sure I really want to get rid of everything like I did last time, and see if there's anything that's like I'm kind of still feel drawn to. So that's the plan as of right now. But yeah, I have, I think, 2 more of these videos. I need to go through lip products and I need to go through brushes. And both of those are much needed. Much needed. So I hope you enjoyed this video today. If you did, give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe down below if you haven't already. I would love to have you around. And until next time, bye guys.